from watching the 6-week-long trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, which they even revealed started way back. It probably did a number on both their mental healths. But while that was somewhat expected as they were the center of the entire case, what wasn't expected was someone outside the case reporting mental problems as a result of the trial. Now the question everyone is asking is, who is this person and how are they connected to the former couple? I know all of this already sounds pretty weird, but trust me, this is only the beginning as it gets even weirder along the way. The person we're referring to here is Dr. David Spiegel, and he has claimed that he suffered an emotional concussion from the legal battle between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. What makes this significantly weirder is that Dr. Spiegel is actually one of the professional therapists that was called to the stand to testify while the trial was underway. During the trial, it was actually Heard's legal team that put Dr. Spiegel on the stand to fight her case. On the stand, Heard's attorney Elaine Bredehoft asked Spiegel to comment on the psychologist's profile of those who suffered and perpetrated IPV and whether or not they were consistent with Depp's behavior. He said, "In my opinion, based on my review of the evidence, based on my clinical experience, based on my publishing experience, and based on my teaching experience, I believe Mr. Depp has behaviors that are consistent with both someone who has a substance use disorder as well as behaviors of someone who is a perpetrator of intimate partner violence." However, since testifying, the psychiatrist has now revealed the negative backlash he has received from Johnny Depp fans via an op-ed for Newsweek titled, "I testified in the Heard vs. Depp trial. The backlash has been horrific." In the article, Dr. Spiegel wrote, "I drove to my hotel and around an hour later, at about 4 p.m. my wife called me and said, 'Listen, I don't want you to look at what's being said.' I asked her how horrific it was, and she told me it was pretty bad. I'm not a social media expert, far from it, so I didn't expect the whole horrific post-trial backflow. It's been a little stunning for me. The volume of it, from the personal attacks on who I am and what I present like to what I look like and say, was obviously a little hurtful. I deal with people for a living, so I tried to understand where people were coming from. It's what a psychiatrist does. But the comments below the YouTube videos of me have been vile." Spiegel then went on saying, "I'm an adult. It's not the first time I've been criticized, but never like that. On that Monday and Tuesday I had what I describe as an emotional concussion. It wasn't physical as I didn't get hit on the head. It was emotional because the feedback afterwards left me a little on the numb and dazed side. I slept a lot on Monday and Tuesday. I would have liked Mr. Depp to get ahead of this and to have said, 'Listen, I understand you are upset, but there are ways to express how to be upset.' The fact that he hasn't probably says potential volumes about him. Ms. Heard hasn't come out and said anything either, but my opinion is that she's the most vulnerable person in this situation." To several people on social media, the psychiatrist was telling a difficult tale of what has happened to him because he was part of the Depp-Heard trial. Like this user who wrote, "Dr. Spiegel and his family have had their lives turned upside down since he testified as an expert witness for Amber Heard. I guess this has happened to other witnesses too. Harassment is horrible. I hope people stop doing this." Unlike this individual, several others didn't buy Dr. Spiegel's story, and a lot of them also shared their own opinions too, starting with this user who wrote, "I just read Dr. Spiegel's editorial. I am saddened that he's been subjected to harassment and review bombing. That ought not to have happened. But holy crap, does it also confirm that he's got no clue. I mean, he's upset that Depp, under a media ban, didn't speak out." A couple of other fans also referenced some specific parts of Spiegel's op-ed, specifically the part of it where he asked people not to assume they know him or Depp based on what they've seen on social media or TV. And on the note, some of them dug up some footage from the trial where he apparently contradicted those exact words.
Don't you think it's a good idea, when you're in the middle of a court proceeding, to answer questions carefully?
Again, professionally, we diagnose patients with a neurocognitive disorder by gross evaluation all the time with cognitive. On the thought that, again, age normal controls, I'm just saying, age normative controls does not put a 58-year-old gentleman at that processing. That's all I'm saying.
This was also exactly what this fan was referring to when they wrote. He also ends the editorial by saying that we shouldn't assume to know neither him nor Depp, because we don't know them personally. Isn't that one of the main points he's being criticized for? Testifying against someone he's never met. From his words, it's obvious Dr. Spiegel didn't expect things to go Johnny's way, and now it just looks like a desperate call for attention to a lot of people. But do tell us, how does it seem to you?